Oh, yeah, it's the sweet, sweet sounds of another episode of Social Distance Drinking Club. It's a special week for those of us who, are fans of two of the only real universities in Arizona. Sorry, Lumberjacks. And it was
way to alienate Flagstaff, man.
It was a special day yesterday, too. Everyone made the same face. We all just.
I had a good Saturday. I ran some errands. I cleaned up the house some. It was a good day, and then day turned to night, and it turned into a shit show.
I want you to know that the Schadenfreude was amazing for me. I very much enjoyed knowing that somewhere the three of you were in different places, aching at the loss that was taking place.
Oh, I thought you meant the Schadenfreude of you talking shit all afternoon during the Arizona game.
Oh, that would have been your Schadenfreude you got.
Fair. Okay, yeah.
which was going to be my follow-up, is that it was it definitely came back to bite me in the ass watching the ASU game last night.
So. Yeah, you didn't see that coming?
No.
But I do appreciate Yusuf's Fievel reference there. We're all just like watching the same game from different locations. Knows we're all watching the same star, somewhere out there. Yes, it took till show 84 to get a Fievel Mouskowitz reference. We've peaked.
And he's a Mouskowitz, so he's our people.
I'm shocked it took that long, to be honest.
Yeah, but that was, for ASU, they actually got to play football for the first time since I got my haircut for the first time in 2020. So that's how long it's been for them. And for Arizona, they got to play again. And it wasn't, it was great for a quarter, for 15 minutes or so.
Yusuf, that's why I wore my Day of Dia de los Muertos hat, Arizona hat.
What's with your hat anyways? Tell us about the hat.
Well, it's a kind of sweet hat my sister got me. It's a Dia de los Muertos U of A hat. I was trying to make it, kind of reflective of a winless football team where you're celebrating the dead. But then, I'm gonna be more optimistic. I'm gonna change my hat to one that shows the fighting nature of our current football team.
I'm sorry. Can you just put that back on the screen for just a second? Whose elbow macaroni graduation capstone project was that for the second grade?
Where did you get that, Brett? Seriously, where did you get that? That is amazing.
This is one of those Instagram ad purchases where it's like a 1950s Kansas City Cats minor league baseball logo. I felt like it was appropriate for our winless Arizona Wildcats.
But the cat's smiling.
He's smiling because he has no idea what's going on.
I got tears in my eyes. That brings so much more context to no pity for the kitty, because if that cat walked out on a football field, I'd just hand it the ball and be like, do you want to play? It would probably make a more successful run than every running back on your team. So.
You just run the yarn route and he'll go on a streak down the middle of the field.
Well, we've spent 4 minutes talking shit to each other. Let's get this thing started. Tell us what you're drinking in the comments, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll go around the room like we always do, starting with Mr. Adam Green. Adam Green, what do you got?
Besides my own tears from last night, I'm drinking Renhouse Sonorosaurus. Friend of the program, friend to all humanity, Sam Frazier, picked up my order for me, and I appreciate that because this is really good. So, yeah. Nice.
Mr. Ledford, what do you got?
So I'm going for the Zulu Haze Moonraker, just the new one. It's Citra Simcoe, not bad. And then with a sidecar of Whiskey Del Dorado.
Oh, well, then you're stepping it up.
Well, this is part of my 20th anniversary present. I was too busy for the show that day. Sorry, everyone, but
we all were. It was fine.
Yeah, good stuff.
Brett Barry.
Like Adam Green, I also have Sonorosaurus, though this is already my third that I've had since it was released 2 days ago. So apparently I have a problem Plus, the beer is really good.
Well, let it be known. I've
Your
abandoned.
name? So apparently I have a problem. Plus the beer is really good.
Definitely a beer name.
Your name?
Definitely a beer name. Possibly a beer pairing dinner.
That's not bad at all.
We just created an entire event.
I have abandoned the fine folks at Truly because I've come across Tanqueray Sevilla Orange Gin and Soda in a can.
You know, let's take the moment to do this right this time. I just don't have enough good things to say about Tanqueray. They're just a fine company. Dexter loves them. We love them.
Yeah. So Diageo, if you're listening and you have an extra couple $1,000, give me a call. It's all good. I'm just gonna.
Wait, come on, Yusuf. First, you do the Truly cans upside down, then you're about to drink that with the logo covered up.
Look at where the mouth is versus the logo is on that side. So really, I have to just.
Look, it's like credit card commercials. Your card is right side up, but it's never that way with the stripe. You got to do it for the commercial.
But there's something
Yusuf, maybe your mouth is on the wrong side.
Oh man, I saw that we got PJ saying, "Well, hello, Kitty," and then Jonathan Jacob Mackey saying, "Is the topic how terrible Arizona football is?"
And I replied to him, "No, it's not. It's not because this is our short show. We don't have the kind of time to talk about how terrible Arizona football is."
There's a lot of stuff there. This is a lot going on. PJ says he's drinking some Renhouse slow pour pills. Pour pills? Sí, es por pills.
Por pills.
It's por pills.
Oh, pills. Nice.
Pour pills.
Come on, give him credit.
He still said pills, as in pills.
Pastillas.
Oh man. Well, we've got a lot to talk about in a short amount of time, and we can talk fantasy, we can talk the NFL. But before we get started, I want to bring in our special guest today, Mr. Rob Reyes, also known as Jedi ASU. Rob, thanks for joining us, my friend.
Hello, ladies. Jedi ASU here. How are you guys?
And that's why I want a new microphone so that I can do that when I talk into the microphone.
I absolutely love this one, and it didn't cost me an arm and a leg, so I highly recommend it. The voice, though, is optional.
Is it?
It is.
So you're lying to all of us right now. For anyone
well, I mean, remember that Friends episode with the sexy phlegm? So this is regular, but with the sexy phlegm, it gets lower. But
you sound like Jedi White right now.
Right? Exactly. It's except after a game, then I'm all squeaky and it's annoying and I don't do jack. But anyway.
Rob, let's be honest though. You're celebrating 23 years of marriage. The voice probably carried you through about 16 of those.
It was actually. It was actually the torn pants back in college is actually what did it. And so no, not really.
And not the tearaway pants, because that would have been what you needed to do it.
I'm probably a few years away from that because that's just an age progression thing. Because I'm in sweats right now. It used to be like slacks and then jeans and skinny jeans and all this other stuff. Now all I wear is sweats. One, because I work from home and I'm in quarantine and I've been married 23 years.
You're going to need some breakaways, man. That's not an age thing. Channing Tatum pulled it off.
It did. He has abs, though.
Yusuf doesn't even wear pants.
Prove it. Picks or it didn't happen.
I'm really disappointed here because Rob Jedi is one of my favorite people on this planet. And I never had the glory of seeing the torn pants.
Yeah, that was those pants are 25 years old and they're in the garbage, disintegrating someplace. So it was actually so Mrs. Jedi ASU and I met at Pima Community College. I was her math tutor, and so I was scruffy and all. I mean, I didn't shave. I had kind of like broken up and I hadn't recovered, even though it was like a year. And anyway, I finally got over it, cleaned up, and then she was like, "Oh, who's this?" New clothes, shaved, cut the hair, and she's like, "Oh, let me steal all his information."
The lesson plan then was like, "You plus me equals us."
It was.
I thought he was pulling the deep voice and talking about the area under the curve.
Not at all, man. And she was having none of that, and she still got a D, unfortunately. So
yeah, she did.
So, Rob,
Ah.
you hosted a virtual tailgate yesterday. Thank you for doing that.
Of
I bet
course.
someone at the U of them did that because they don't know how to use computers. I had to teach all of these guys.
Did you? Well, my mom knows how to use it, and she's got 2 degrees from down there, so she's got some skills.
All right, fair enough. Now we're being
Hi, puppy.
Yusuf, we don't do like not do it because we don't use computers. We don't do the virtual tailgates because we don't have any fans. Like that's why.
fair point.
We can have computers.
Oh,
Why? Like just no one would log on. I'd be like Jedi, like Rob, like obviously I met you obviously I think through Twitter and through other people like Brad Denny
Absolutely.
and all of them. Like obviously Brett and I are Wildcats. You're a Sun Devil, but you're also one of my favorite people. We've done your tailgate
Love
before,
you both.
and just like you are Adam Ledford was there too in the picture that we
That's right. Which, by the way, for everyone, if you see that picture at the beginning, that's at my parents' tailgate.
Put that back up so everybody can see it real quick.
And actually, you'll see, and my cousin in the background making the face. She's don't tell her she's making a face.
That was the face Brett, Adam, and I were making in the fourth quarter of that game. Actually, later that day.
Yeah,
I don't remember that game at all.
But so Jedi ASU, obviously, it's a Star Wars reference.
absolutely.
You combine your love of Star Wars with your love of university and create this whole persona, this whole brand that you have in the tailgates, the videos, the meme with the pie chart that I hate. That's you.
I am this close to putting it on a mask, by the way.
Oh,
So
please
you may
don't.
say,
Wear a mask, please. I want you to be safe and healthy.
not
But
that
no,
other Brett.
hey, not like that.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, go ahead. I interrupted you. I'm
So
sorry.
just like, how does this come about? Like, obviously, I know your love of Star Wars and love of ASU, but how did you become Jedi ASU?
Vontez Perfect. As weird as that sounds. So
It was just in one word answer. One name answer.
Recently arrested Vontez Perfect.
Wait,
the himself.
Hey, Rob.
Go ahead.
There's no way Vontez Perfect is not a Sith Lord.
He may be, or just a lost Gungan. We'll decide. But what happened was that his first game was again in 2009 versus Idaho State, and he absolutely obliterated Russell Hill. Just he was in the middle linebacker, just came from the outside and just lifted him up and carried him maybe 5, 6, 7 yards. And having been in the Bay Area, I wasn't able to watch games consistently. So I needed a way to be able to put highlights out there because we were never on ESPN. So the idea of starting a channel, getting all the highlights, recording them to my computer, starting a channel and putting them out there is really what birthed it. And Vontez Perfect play is what really set me on my path to be on YouTube. And then I was illegally streaming the games on several platforms before everyone started complaining. But
is there a statute of limitations on like the DMCA?
It's been 11 years. It's been 11 years. So hopefully they can't, even if it's regular. But what happened is when I was streaming, I was getting, emails from Afghanistan, Saudi, Germany, all around the world saying, you are the only reason we can watch these ASU games. And so it kind of just solidified my purpose. And so it was always about YouTube. I do an annual, it's the most wonderful time of the year video. So I'm on next year's year 7. So it's continuing to grow, but I think, and then the social media, being on Twitter, being able to socialize and make amazing friends like these 2 gentlemen here is just definitely something that has been a blessing. And so, but now it's moving into more of building virtual community. There's a lot of people that we're apart, but now I'm more targeting those fans that are remote, that can't come to Phoenix or Tempe all the time. So that's where the Sun Devil Summits came about, and that's where the virtual tailgates come about. And so I have another channel coming up called the Stadium Study Hall, where I'm creating videos teaching people about college football, all the way from 101 starter classes, and I have a whole syllabus that goes up into the 400s. So
Can you enroll Kevin Sumlin in that course?
I would like to have him as a guest. I don't know what he'd teach us on, but it would be fantastic to have him on there. By the way, I am drinking from Anchorage Brewing Company. I found this yesterday at Perry's Liquor, and it's called Not Your Kind of People. And I have 4 screens, so the glare is fantastic. But anyway, Not Your Kind of People from Anchorage Brewing Company, and I
Did
spent.
no one see fit to privilege check the fact that he goes, I have 4 screens. 4 screens.
You don't see that? You don't see my Saturday setups? That's why I'm getting a suntan. But that's where, and again, so that's where it's been. That's what it's going towards, and that's the vision. So it's really just a huge opportunity to be able to, given where we're at, and especially now with California even more lockdown than you guys, building community virtually. If I can bring people together that way, that's the big goal. So, and just like you guys, being just talking, hanging, visiting with friends, that's the most important thing.
Right. So I have a question about that. Like, obviously, these two guys do a Wildcats podcast, and you do
Absolutely.
Moving out of Star Wars, maybe into Ghostbusters. Have you ever crossed the stream?
You know what it is? So I may with this new movie, because Padawan 2 is an absolute 80s freak, but also he loves Ghostbusters and Back to the Future. So for being 13 years old, he absolutely loves a lot of that 80s culture, which is cool. I mean, he's even introducing me to a lot of stuff that I didn't listen to, a lot of Queen, a lot of stuff that I'm like, wow, how did I not miss that?
Did you say you didn't listen to Queen?
There was only bits of Queen there was other songs that he would get that he like, oh, listen to this one. Oh, listen to this one. So he's definitely expanding my horizon as well. While his twin sister is definitely putting me on the My Chemical Romance and Frank Iero and all those other bands. So I'm getting a lot of cool tastes in music.
I haven't heard the name My Chemical Romance in a long time.
Right? I mean, me neither. It's been I've been on the show 15 minutes, so I haven't heard it in 17 minutes. So I'm hearing it 3, 4, 5 times every time. So exactly. But it's good. But it's always good to be able to do that. But no, and again, absolutely for everyone that's watching, love Adam and Brett's podcast. I mean, Adam's going to be on there. Brett probably going to have you on. Maybe we can do a roundtable preview on when is it? Wednesday, right? Yeah,
Thursday.
Or Thursday.
I don't think any of us want to talk about the game Friday.
Okay,
between Brett, myself, and you, I don't know if anyone wants to discuss this game between 2 winless teams for the right to win the cup and a game.
Well, that's the question here, right? Like, should there be an asterisk? Can we just call it an exhibition game and just leave the cup where it's at? It's very comfortable where it is right now.
I mean, I'm gonna go on record as the odds makers are showing COVID-19 as the heavy favorite for Friday's game. As Arizona is only 2 guys above the minimum number of required players currently on the active roster.
Has the line come out, by the way? Has a Vegas line come out for that game yet?
I think it was 7 plus, 7 points for you guys in your guys' favor.
I think it was 8, which was the first single-digit line for Arizona all season. So congratulations.
That's yeah. I'm like, and again with that, the only team that's going to beat ASU is ASU, because given these last 2 games, they've been horrific. Where I guess anyway, but at least you're getting lots of love from the Pac-12 Apostles. They love Brightwell. They love him as well. George Wrightster loves Brightwell, but anyway.
I feel like there should be a new over-under on whether or not Arizona scores more than the percentage positive test rate that day in Pima County.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Adam, you joke, but I'm pretty sure that COVID-19 is on track for the Holiday Bowl at least.
Oh, yeah, dude, COVID-19's been killing it out there. So it's
of all the games it infiltrated, it won.
I mean, it beat the shit out of Wisconsin this year. Let's be honest.
That was horrific last night, though. That Windy. Although I am a huge Windiana fan this year, watching them beat Wisconsin was like, oh my god, 2020 is a mess.
Well, Wisconsin has nothing left. I mean, if you can't even get a bid for the championship now, just due to regulation, where's your incentive to try real hard or play your superstars? They have no reason to even go on the field right now.
Exactly. And I don't know about you guys, how many of your players are actually looking towards the draft, but I'm like, why are you even doing that? You guys just need to stay. There's really no reason to leave. But
when you say looking towards a draft, are you talking about an open window or where they're trying to sneak off the team.
Someone already did that. Someone on the Sun Devils already did that. He actually got suspended and then said, I'm entering the NFL draft, despite all the words of a fully laden NFL coaching staff probably told him not to. But anyway.
But that's the weirdness of this whole season, though, right? Like, we talk about, like, Arizona's 0-4, I want to say. ASU's 0-2. They played 2 games like a month apart from each other. Like, it's just weird because I know we're all huge college football fans, and yet, like, especially for our teams, we have this whole thing, whether it's this games that maybe your game will happen, maybe it won't. Players are opting out. There's like nothing feels right. And yet, I know we're all still happy to say, I'm sure you were pumped last night to watch ASU play football, even though the game didn't go the way you wanted. You just got to go play. Even like Brett and I and Adam, too, although Adam's also kind of a Georgia fan, so that's better than being an Arizona fan.
Kind of a Georgia fan?
But really? Okay.
He had a hat and a U them shirt, so kind of half.
I mean, Adam Ledford has not left a Georgia rivalry game at halftime. So, I mean, he's a pretty serious fan, right, Yusuf?
I think that sounds like something that would qualify you as the serious fan. Yes.
Never have I ever gotten so drunk that I forgot where my seat was and that I was there with multiple other people.
Oh, I didn't forget. Got it wrapped. I knew where my seat was. I just also knew where my hotel room was.
Rob, Mr. Jet, it's just so weird, right? Like, watching these games, I'm sure for you, especially since it was the first game in like 4 weeks, like, this whole season just doesn't – it's cool to see him play, but also none of this feels right.
I've said this a few times already, and I don't know – no one's kind of echoed it, but I feel guilty watching football this year. It didn't like you said, it didn't feel right, but it feels guilty, albeit I absolutely love the escapism because at least it gets my mind off, the awfulness that's going on, whether it was the election or however you want to look at it, or if it's just COVID-19 or whatever else is going on. It was a level of escapism where I could just go ahead and space out for a day and just enjoy the game, even though it's not my own team. But like you said, it still doesn't feel, at some level, it still doesn't feel right. Although I'm still trying to reconcile in my brain, why aren't football games spreader events? Because you don't hear about everyone catching them at all these SEC or ACC games. So I don't understand that. But again, it may just be something that the numbers aren't showing yet. So I don't know. So it's just like, okay, what is that about? Relative to should we be watching games, relative to should there be having games. So like you said, it's all weird. I think, again, truly, this is our first go round because I think South Korea's gone through this. They've done it multiple times. They know how to attack it, right? So it's like, okay, here we go. We know what to do, XYZ. And I think for us, we're just learning it, which is unfortunate because it really just screwed all of 2020. But my concern is now is that, is this going to, how much of a wave are we going to get, and how much of a wave is it going to impact next year? Or are we going to have to deal with this again, which isn't going to make anyone happy, right? But if we couldn't, I interviewed our dear friend Paige Denny last week on the 42 Social Club, and we were talking about whiskey and everything else. But because of 3 games being canceled at ASU, and I used the term ASU, for lack of a better word, couldn't keep it in their pants, and look what happened. So for the rest, can the rest of the country not keep it in their pants through the holidays to be able to make sure that come spring we're okay? And that's where it's just even more weird, and that's what's really where it just makes it even more uncomfortable. Not to bring everything down.
Pants, Rob. I am wearing pants right now, but but it did make me think of the fact that November also means usually the Territorial Cup, like we were just talking about. But it also means when we all get together. Like you said, that photo was taken at your parents' tailgate in Tucson. And we talked about how much we miss tailgating recently on another episode of the show. But we wanted to talk about tailgate treats. Essentially, what's the tailgate treat? What's your specialty food? What's your specialty drink? I want to start with you since we have a photo from one of your tailgates. Well, let's start with what's your tailgate specialty food?
Okay, so my parents make bacon wrapped asparagus. It's bacon wrapped asparagus. They put it they have this massive 20-inch cast iron skillet. They put it on the grill and they just fry them up. And so those things go real quick. So I've kind of adopted that from them. What would be my tailgate specialty food is that it would be pizzas. And I don't know if you've heard of these. My buddy bought an uni pizza oven. Have you heard of those?
Yes.
So it's probably, I don't know, about 24 inches wide and maybe about 15 inches tall. And it's fully insulated, but it has a pizza plate on the bottom that gets heated by these the propane flames, and it cooks it in like 2 to 3 minutes. You can make it, get the dough, put it in there, and you just and it's done in 3 minutes, and you're like, okay, I'm eating a fresh pizza. So if I could do that, that's exactly what I would do for a tailgate. Just make it here.
Was Dave Portney just now from Barstool Sports, and the time he went to Buffalo, and it was probably like 8 feet of snow because Buffalo Bills fans will go to a tailgate 8 feet of snow.
Bills Mafia.
They built a freaking pizza oven out of a filing cabinet from like someone's old office. Because what else do you do as a Bills fan? There's a drawer for the pizza. There's a drawer for some other shit.
That's brilliant. That is good. So yeah, those are the ones. I mean, I'm still trying to find a good tailgate dessert other than Jell-O shots.
In Alaska? On a grill?
I don't know. I would love to see it. You always see pies and all this other stuff, but it's always cupcakes.
You know, guys, I know somebody who can weigh in on food and beverage matters pretty well.
Well, who would that be?
It would be our old friend, the classy alcoholic.
Well, you just keep him in a drawer next to you?
I don't know where the camera is. Shit, hold on.
What?
How's it going, guys?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi. I'm glad that you put on a kitty hat. That kitty is at least more intimidating than the one on the one on Adam on Brett's. I'm still reeling from the fact that this guy just rolled in looking like half a furry.
You know, I was gonna put him in a dog mask, and he was like, "I'm not having any of it." He's like,
I was like, I was going to ask how in the hell you got the TCU Horned Frog helmet, but then it fully came into screen. I'm like, oh, it's a kitty.
Why does it look like the dragon from How to Train My Dragon? What's his name?
Toothless.
Toothless. Yes.
It's so hard to figure out where the camera is, you guys. But hi, how's it going? I am the alcoholic, and I'm here to hang out with y'all and talk sports. So I'm originally from Houston, Texas, and the only thing I know about sports is that I'm glad the Astros cheated because sports fans don't deserve to be happy. Go Astros!
This is good to watch. Great. I want to hit some of these comments.
What she doesn't realize is none of the sports fans on this podcast or on this show are happy right now with sports. So
I don't know. Okay, another thing.
This is the way.
I definitely got to give a shout out for the Howling Sonic T-shirt, though.
Yeah, there you go, baby.
Oh, that's for sure. I want to hit some of these comments real quick. Hang on. So I don't know if you saw it earlier, but Jonathan Jacob Maggie says, drinking Ren Nojo and glad to see Jedi ASU.
Glad to see you, my man.
PJ also said IU hasn't been ranked this high since 1967. And to answer our question about tailgating, he said, since most tailgating in Indiana is done in the morning, and in the fall when it's cold, the Rebel coffee has always been my go-to tailgate drink. And of course, Hoosier fried tenderloin.
Nice.
What is Hoosier fried tenderloin?
Same question.
I want to know what the hell a Hoosier fried tenderloin. Because if somebody yelled Hoosier fried tenderloin, I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know what my tenderloin's name is. Like, I have no idea.
It's smoked.
It's smoked.
Exactly. So no, that's actually cool. That'd be actually another good question because what are some of the more regional type of tailgating food that we could have? Because I mean, if you're going to, the biggest cocktail in the world what is that? Is it the Florida Georgia tailgate? It's
Georgia, Florida.
I'm sorry.
Let's get this right.
Okay, so Florida Georgia tailgate.
I don't have my distance button. Damn it.
But that's one. I mean, they all have those. So I'd love to see what are those local type of cuisine. So that would be. Oh, here we go. PJ got us a response in there.
Pork tenderloin. There it is. Pork tenderloin beaten until it's flattened, submissive, battered, and deep fried.
Oh, that's that's us that we could.
Sounds like UVA football.
Yeah. Or Sun Devil football. That's us. Yep.
I feel targeted here.
Yeah, we've definitely been seen.
Yeah, quick, run away.
Or attacked, whatever it is. It's like, yeah.
You mean you've been targeted as a sub?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Thanks to our furry friend down there. Thank you so much.
hey, man, we're positive down here in Pima County.
We gotta hold on. We gotta pause because I'm cheating now. It's 6:28 and kickoff already happened, if I'm not mistaken, which means you are all gonna decide.
I was gonna say, where is everyone, by the way?
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
To be fair.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a question here. If anyone was wondering what the game was, it's the Broncos and the Chiefs, and
I went to ASU and to U of A 2 years each, so they're the reason that I'm $50,000 in debt. So you know what? Fuck your rivalry. That's all I have to say about that sports portion.
May that debt be canceled in some form or another.
Latin American politics class for suck balls in both schools.
Hey, Yusuf, 2020's been hard on furries too. That's why they're so angsty.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get out and rub.
And furries in the same sentence, Brett. We'll attract a whole new Twitter audience.
Well, Godspeed to the Broncos today. I hope they found a local window washer or possibly somebody who maybe operates a curtain at a theater. Their arms might be strong enough to throw a football. Any of that would work out for them if they've got that. Maybe a discus player from the local high school.
Their quarterback situation isn't better this week.
How could it be?
I heard the U of A coach is going to go to jail for reason, and I'm okay with that. I don't care.
I like that Mankey says Broncos always, but the Chiefs will win. I appreciate your commitment, but at this point, if the head of the snake is not existent, the snake isn't going anywhere. It's not going to make
games in Denver.
Does it matter?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I'm trying to sound relevant. you know me. I don't even watch anything on Sunday, so I'm just trying to sound smart.
Fair enough. Part 2, your tailgate drink. Everyone has one, whether it's your quick drinker, your daily drinker, sipper, or something you can get through a bunch of, like a Michelob Ultra, or is there like a secret bottle of Jaeger so that you can remember what that sophomore year party tasted like every time you show up to a tailgate in college, or there's something. What do you got, Rob?
For me, it was a Enjoy by 12/24/8. Was it a 16? I don't remember. But Brett, you came. I think you came, and I was absolutely thraxed, and I was just a stumbling disaster. And you guys kind of left real quick, so I still feel bad for that. But that's what you get for not eating at a tailgate and only drinking. So that's what
you were being a good host. You were showing people.
Oh, I was everywhere. Yeah,
was and then not having any.
Yeah, I was saving food for everyone else. That's exactly it.
Classy, you're with us.
A couple of years ago from the picture, we had Paige Denny had brought a bunch of whiskey for everyone to have. There was plenty of food, plenty of drinks, and I think we tried to contribute some drinks too. We had some pretty good beers.
You did.
But it was just a wonderful tailgate. I know to this question, I don't have a go-to tailgate drink other than what's there usually or what I brought, and that varies based on the tailgate and the day. But I'm not too picky when it comes to a tailgate because you're there. You're not really there for who is it? The Crafty Devils, Rob?
Yes.
Who do they do craft beer at the ASU tailgates? I think, or
pure craft beer. Those guys are crazy because he shows up. He actually for one tailgate had 2 growlers of Dogfish Head 120. 2 growlers of that. I'm like,
and
so
no
that's how
game that was anymore.
Because everyone it was on the so they have a 2-page menu of craft beers that you can select, and everyone showed up there like that one, and he's like, not until an hour before game because then that's going to disappear and you won't go to the game. So, but that's how deep they roll. So no, it's that's an aspiration.
Can I just ask, is there a possible way to call Adam Green out for saying, I just drink what other people brought?
100%. I was there.
I also said, or what I bring. I'm not picky at a tailgate. That's what I was going with.
I was
You
going
Adam, just use the word you want to call him.
I'll use the word you wanted to call him. He's a hypocrite because he gave me shit for drinking seltzers, but he'll go to a tailgate. He's a hypocrite. He'll go to a tailgate, and I bet you money if I put a Coors Light in front of him, he'll drink it. Now, I will say this.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I will also drink a Coors Light at a tailgate. I don't mind, but you guys know this.
It's a tailgate. Unless you're at the Crafty Devil's tailgate, you're not, or like the one we did before the game last year. It's not about craft beer. It's just about drinking with friends.
What are you talking about? Before the game last year, we went to a liquor store and you picked out as much craft beer that they had available as possible. And it was like mom and pop. I don't think they even knew how to spell Santan.
I thought Classy Alcoholic he raised his hand, or you're just raising your hand.
No, I was saying that Mexican Tailgate is putting tequila into a Ziploc bag and putting it into your shirt and bringing it into a concert, which I may or may not have done legally or illegally. So that's my jam.
Is there
Actually,
a way to pack tequila in a Ziploc bag?
Yeah, triple layer. Come on.
Yeah,
Then you tape it to your thigh for the pat down at a college game. That's how we did at Georgia.
100%. Yeah, exactly. So apparently it's not just a Mexican thing. It's also a hillbilly thing.
I got kicked out for that. It was actually it was at the 1996 ASU USC game. It was one of the great. It was the loudest game in Sun Devil Stadium, and I got kicked out in the first quarter because I wasn't smooth enough, and I just.
It's your catheter bag, and you're fine.
That's right. I didn't. I actually took it off and started pouring it, and security came down. It's like, you got to go. I'm like, shit.
You're like, no, this is my insulin, man.
Yeah, no.
Also, sports arena security.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Shame my ADA.
Now I know. It's like I don't have to wear a mask and don't take my insulin bag.
If you guys weren't already hanging out with friends who happen to have a disability, puts them in a wheelchair, you're missing out, because that is a great place to stash an entire handle of vodka.
Or babies. Just hide your drugs in like the diaper of your little baby brother. It's awesome. They're gonna check a baby. Who's gonna check a baby for drugs?
We made a big jump here from sneaking in a Ziploc bag of tequila. All right, everybody, that was the Classy Alcoholic. He's a lot of fun. We'll see him later. We'll see him next time. It'll be through plexiglass, not because of COVID. It'll be because he's on the other side with a phone going, "Hey guys, I'm in jail."
We appreciate you, Classy.
Appreciate you, Jedi ASU. By the way, everybody thinks it's cool when the Mandalorian doesn't take off his mask. I'm cool with it too, right?
There you go. Exactly.
We've already seen
This
face,
is the
right?
way.
And it's Pedro Pascal, who's Chilean. He's Latino, so we got a brown guy in Star Wars, like the third one.
Classy, I'm going to give you your tagline when you don't take off your mask. This is the wasted.
Yes.
Oh, that's real good, dude.
Put it on a shirt. Put it on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt.
That's right.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to give Classy one more plug before we start to get to the point of wrapping up this show. If you guys don't know him, you should know him. He's hilarious. He's joined us before at The Classy Alcoholic on Instagram, or you can go to theclassyalcoholic.net and check him out. Classy, why don't you take your kitty furry face off camera, damn it.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys. All cops are bastards. And Bush did 9/11. Why not? Bye.
He's in my bubble. I don't know what to say.
Bush did 9/11 is a very timely reference.
No, I think it's a Mo Def song, but whatever.
Yeah, I was like, he wasn't going to talk about the votes. He decided to go straight to 9/11. I'm like, come on.
He said the same thing the last time we had him on a show.
Oh, so it's a fair sign off. Okay.
It is indeed.
I like it.
Oh, man. And Rob, thank you for joining us. And
It
thank
is
you
a privilege and an honor. Thank you for thinking of me, guys.
Absolutely. Before you go, I know we talked about this yesterday on the virtual tailgate, but I want everyone to get a nice, good look at that banner, that flag you've got behind you, and how
the
cool.
family picture. The family picture. I got to give a shout out. That is
Very nice.
My parents and my sister, all of us, as you can see, they're all in the red, but I am in the lovely gold. So they're always close to me, even though they are all far away.
Very nice. And you said you found it in Scottsdale, which I found exciting. I wish I could find that flag as well.
Same thing with this little thing. This was in Scottsdale too.
Old school banner. I just love the anime version of the Sun Devil. I want it as a keychain.
I absolutely love the Tokyo Dachi. So there was a kid, like I said, there was a kid's shirt that it was on a t-shirt. It was a kid size, didn't fit, so I had to wait. So finally, they made it. They actually have.
It was actually an adult size in Japan, but
the sticker too.
I mean, Yusuf, you haven't found those things. You can find a lot of ASU garbage in Scottsdale.
Nebraska too. There's a Nebraska store right in Old Town. I have no idea, but I was just there with me and Mrs. Jet ASU. We were in town for Brad and Paige's wedding, and we were just walking around Old Town, and just right off the. I wish I could remember which. It's like I'm just staring. It's like it was all Nebraska gear. Had the big red N flag, and I'm like, that's wild. So
as we wrap the show up, I'm gonna hit a couple of the comments we got last. PJ said, I once smuggled drugs into a concert in my cast. Good to hear, PJ. Thank you.
They ain't gonna check a cast. Exactly. That's the whole 88 thing. That's HIPAA. And
Mankey says, before the end, go Devils. We'll see, man. At this point, I'm expecting them to all sit around a circle, put some marbles down on a wooden board, and just play a game of marbles.
Maybe just don't.
Might be a better game to play. I don't know.
Just as long as one, may they all be healthy, no injuries, and I hope everyone has fun.
Yes.
Fair enough.
To be fair, what does misery love?
Exactly. You were going to say, Adam, I didn't hear you.
As I say, the real prize is the friendships we made along the way.
Yes, sir.
No matter what happens on Friday.
That's right.
Indeed.
Oh, it's going to be a mess.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Rob, thank you for joining us. Hang tight. We'll chat with you as soon as we drop off for a couple minutes before you go. And thank you for joining us on your anniversary as well.
Of course. It's in between. It's only 5:30 here in the Bay Area, so it's still
before
early.
that happens, I think I just need to show one thing. Oh, look, there's a pie chart.
Oh, he did it to you, Adam. He did it to you.
Wow. There it is. Cool. That sounds about right. We'll talk college football again on Wednesday, probably. Because
I have plans for that pie chart if Arizona ever wins again.
I know.
I have plans.
You and I will be sad that entire year.
There is a chance.
Which is weird. I don't want you to be sad because I think you're great. But I want.
I know, but it's like I can't use the picture though.
All right, guys, let's wrap this bad boy up. There's a slaughter going on TV right now versus the Chiefs and the Broncos.
Didn't it just start?
20 minutes ago. It can't possibly be any less than 24-0 right now.
All right. They'll run out of points like Alabama.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you, as always.
Good night, guys.